Are we live?
No. Wait,
Oh,
wait. Okay.
we're live now?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Welcome, everybody. We're live. We're going to get started right now. Thank you. Welcome to Drift Studios. This is our first town hall that we've ever had. We're inaugural. I'm Michael Tabone. I'm going to be basically moderating and working us through these the entire. It should be about an hour. We're going to open up the space to questions at the end. We have a whole lot of different announcements and different things we want to talk about and mention during this whole entire thing. We've been working on the background, just a little bit of a background on Drift. We started our pre-sale in December 27th of last year, and we are now on the second lap. But it's probably going to be our last lap because we are about to launch on some centralized exchanges and get ourselves moving and going, including Coinstar was one of our partners here. So we have some of our partners now that are here, and so we're excited to go on to that. But we have a whole bunch of announcements. Like I said, we're going to have some prizes as well for the best questions. We're deciding whether we should do it randomized generator, but sticking with the whole entire drift motif, we're going to give it to the merit. So the best questions, that's going to be the people that we win, and we're going to be like the people that are on here are going to be like the arbitrators of all that, of who the best questions are. So please put your questions into where, Paul, should they put the questions if they want to?
Put your questions in your Twitter or your YouTube, wherever you're watching this. Add your questions in below the video as we speak. Start now. Don't wait till the end. And we'll try and get to all of them while we're here.
Awesome. And if you are watching this on Twitter or listening to this on Twitter or YouTube, please share it with as many people as you possibly can so we can get this out and about into the whole entire world. So I really appreciate that. And we will address those AMAs at the end of the thing. So I'd like to just really quickly push this around the room. I would like to start with Josh, if we possibly can. A little introduction to yourself for those people that might not be familiar with Drift at all.
Sure, no problem. Can you guys hear me okay?
Go for it.
Yep.
All right, awesome. So I'm Josh Chan. I'm the CEO of Drift. My relevant experience in the Web3 world is I started investing in 2017. 2020 started working projects, decentralized projects. Then made my way up to developing and then leading projects. And then had the opportunity to come work full time running operations for an energy blockchain intersection company. And that's where I met most of the team here. My leadership experience is the CEO position. I went to West Point here in America, which is the leadership academy for the Army. So I had 10 years in the military here, leading organizations from 30 to 200 people. So that's a little bit quick little bit about me. So I'll pass it on to Dr. Drift.
Thank you very much. By the way, I didn't pick Dr. Drift. The CC Pro community apparently called me Dr. Drift, and I just kept. I didn't do it for my own ego. I did it just because they called me Dr. Drift a couple times, and it just kind of stuck for now. I want to go with Dr. Mike, but they said Dr. Drift. So anyway, Paul, please a little introduction to yourself.
Oh yeah, hi guys. Heading up marketing here for Drift Studios. So 5 years in Web3, a couple of years in publishing, and then back to my comfort zone in marketing, and worked mainly in the NFT, metaverse, and GameFi space. So looking very much forward to kicking off a new gaming studio, and utilizing some of my skills and knowledge, particularly in the Asia Pacific region in terms of marketing, to get this one off the ground and running smooth and big.
Absolutely. So a lot of people have asked before, who's the face behind the Centra crew? Who is this? Who are these mysterious developers? And I'd like to introduce you to Nabil, who is the head and the CTO basically of our whole entire thing. Nabil, a little introduction to yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Nabil. I'm basically head of blockchain architecture at Decentra Group, which is a subsidiary company and a sister company for Chaos Corp. They look after all sides of development in terms of applications, even video promotions, video productions, and in-game game productions, and even blockchain development. So we've combined everything for Drift, and we're working together for some time now. And we're really excited to actually showcase V2 as we progress into the town hall meeting today. So thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Nabil, he's the wizard behind the curtain. So we spread that apart. Sophie.
Hey there. I'm the UX and UI designer. My educational background's in linguistics, and I have a professional history in digital design within marketing teams. For the past few years, I've worked with DAOs and Web3 startups such as Voxel's Metaverse, among several other blockchain-based companies. I'm the head of design at Drift Labs, and I work closely with the developers, marketing, and management to ensure that the users have an excellent experience.
Awesome. Thank you, Sophie. I'm Michael Tabone. I was the former deputy director of research at Cointelegraph. I took a little step back to being just the senior economist and featured writer there, so I can concentrate on Drift big time. I teach blockchain at a university, the University of the Cumberlands. I teach at a graduate program there in the blockchain global business for blockchain program. I spent almost 2 decades in corporate world in economics and finance and engineering and everything else like that. I advise like 20 different crypto projects, so I'm slightly in this world here, and I recommend everyone buy Bitcoin. Anyway, let's move on. And I really want to make a big announcement on our advisory thing. So, as my background is really big into the crypto in the cypherpunk world of the past, there's a lot of people that I look up to, and one of those people I actually made contact with recently, and he's interested in Drift, and we talked about it, and he decided that he would be okay with being an advisor to us, and that is Mike Laurie. So Mike, I'd like to introduce you to everybody, and
hey, everybody,
background on yourself.
Okay, well, I've been in virtual worlds for quite a few years. I was on the Satoshi team going from 1998 to 2006, when we're still working on all the early concepts that eventually wound up in the Satoshi paper. And no, I'm not Satoshi. And then from there, I went into Second Life, where I became a top developer there. I built the first virtual stock exchanges. I had racing simulator regions, combat regions, all kinds of stuff. Developed tons of content there. And then in 2010, I started developing ideas that I was writing about combining blockchain with virtual worlds and metaverse platforms to secure the IP of creators while giving users the ability to have portability of their identity and assets between platforms. And that's something I've been working on with my Galactic Virtual company since then. And I co-founded the Open Metaverse Research Group, omrg.org. And I'm on the board of directors of the International Spaceflight Museum, where I'm making a gamified Mars colony to serve as a training feeder for people who are going to be interested in colonizing Mars in the next decade.
So awesome. Thanks, Mike. And I appreciate all of the we've had a lot of great conversations, and I'm sure we're going to continue having those conversations. But I appreciate the history that you bring to the thing. So it's awesome. So now I'd like to introduce some of our partners we've been working with, or we plan on working with in the future. A lot of these things are still in development, and we have to work some things out. These things are not going to go live immediately, but some of these things are imminent. So some of the people that have been great and that have been awesome here is I'd like to introduce CoinStore first. If we want to just give a little bit of background on, if anybody doesn't know what CoinStore is, and a little bit of background on yourself, please.
Yeah, sure. Thanks very much. My name is Tahir. I'm the regional manager for CoinStore. So CoinStore is a centralized exchange based out in Singapore headquarters. We situated ourselves in the Southeast Asian market as we see the next phase of cryptocurrency to be really booming in that emerging markets. So, we very much focus on those areas. And, we've grown from zero in the less than 3 years of roughly around 6 million users. So it's been a strength on strength and growing our team every day and meeting people and companies like Drift and working and partnering with them is an exciting time. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it. I can't wait to get that going. I'd like to introduce CC Pro.
Hello. Yeah, so I'm Dec from CC Pro. I've been a crypto investor since 2017. I'm the co-founder of Crypto Glasgow and CC Pro. which is a community of crypto investors and crypto fans, which is over 30,000 people across the world, so pretty big. And we've been building this community for 4 years now, and we've built a really strong core community. And yeah, we've been spreading the word about Drift across multiple platforms that we have, like Instagram, Discord, YouTube, and podcasts. So yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, CC Pro has been a great partner, and I recommend them to for any legit projects. If they want to reach out to CC Pro, it's a great community to know and to operate with. One project I'm definitely excited to work with, Dubs.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me. I'm Kyle. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Dubs. Yeah, we've been talking to you guys over at Drift for quite a while now, hoping to get some integration together in the future. What Dubs is a blockchain-based wagering as an infrastructure platform. So we enable matchmaking, tournaments, ladders, eventually third-party wagering as well into any skill-based game on any blockchain or no blockchain at all. We take care of everything regarding legal compliance and coverage, fiat and DeFi on and off ramps, and optional exposure via the Dubs platform. We have our app on iOS and Android and on the web as well. But yeah, excited to hear what you guys have been cooking up, and I know there's some big announcements coming up. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. And last but not least, Jack, I didn't forget you. I love Onekin. Please give us a little introduction to little Onekin.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, I'm Jack. I'm the founder and the CEO for Onekin. We actually been operating in the Web3 space for over 5 years, but started out as publishers and building our own games. But really, we decided we wanted to help other games grow, and so we are basically working to both improve and decentralized gaming distribution, help great games reach new users. In a nutshell, I'm happy to get into more details later.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool as we grow and we move forward. So I'd like to bring up Nabil. As we move through this, we're going to talk about different not only announcements or different things we're working on. So Nabil's first one, I think, is like the audit and the mainnet, how that's going, and an integration with. We're trying to get it going. We're almost there. We're there. But it's cross-chain interoperability protocol with a particular protocol. But I'll let Nabil kind of be the man on that one. So go ahead, Nabil.
So thank you, Mike. So the update is basically we're very close to finalizing the testnet functionality for token itself and passing it on to the auditors for finalizing any all of their processes against penetration testing and audit. So as soon as we get their final testing reports and then we have a green light, we will be deploying on mainnet. And the process, I think we've been getting a lot of questions regarding how the claim process or the airdrop process will happen and what's going to happen with the pre-sale tokens, right? So I think it's a good time to actually explain for the users and prospect users as well. I think the process is basically defined in a way that we'll create a claim process for holders of pre-sale Drift tokens, which basically means whatever tokens you have and whatever options you've selected. For example, if you've selected to stake your Drift tokens, you will be entitled to claim stake Drift, which is basically a liquid staking token for Drift, and you can basically redeem and claim rewards based on the epochs we have selected, and that'll be, I think, explained a little bit later on in this stage. The dynamic tax users which have actually selected the opposite of staking option during the pre-sale would be entitled to those tokens, which basically means they are directly Drift tokens. But beware, during the first few moments there is a dynamic tax enabled on the token itself, which basically is a high tax on high volume, and it lowers down and slashes down during the initiation period to settle the sell pressure or initial sell pressure. Those dynamic tax rewards are basically used for in-game rewards or even community rewards. I think in the initial beginning, I think Josh had few plans about utilizing it for the community. So that's the progress basically, and that's the plan as we launch into it. So we're going to wait till we get the confirmation on all security protocols being correct. So the integration is mostly one of the key things that we are really excited about is CCIP protocol, which basically enables us to be cross-chain, which basically means it's not kind of like multi-chain, but it allows you to simply switch chains very fluidly and cuts down the use or requirement for sending your token first or stable coins or buying tokens first to a centralized exchange, switching network, setting this back up to the decentralized exchange and then buying your Drift tokens or then the staking. It's a cumbersome process, so we are working towards streamlining that. And I truly believe it has potential as a protocol itself to grow a lot because it's a new technology. We can come and talk about it a little bit more in the detail. I think I don't want to go all technical right now. A lot of people might get bored, but it allows us to actually switch networks easily between Drift token itself and maybe later for the staking Drift token as well, which would allow people to actually benefit from different yields based on the different kind of volume that is being generated through the game itself. So as we progress into the game, the conversation is that the idea again is to create a cross-chain challenge game so that one chain, a community from one chain is specifically challenging a community on the other chain to compete between skill-based games like Payout Pursuit. So in V2, basically users will be able to compete against each other initially on Ethereum only, and then we'll keep on integrating as we move along. I think BNB and then Polygon we've lined up as we have already solidified those chains for cross-chain enabled. So I think that's the update from my side, and I think it'll be more clear as we move into the demo side of V2 of Payout Pursuit.
Before we move into that,
Yeah,
I gotta Nabil. Okay, so it's Chainlink, guys. Obviously, CCIP. So I want to hit that. That's obviously really big for us. We're not in the stage where they can co-market with us yet. We have to do a couple more things in the audit, but obviously it's a really good partner to have, and we're one of the first projects to integrate CCIP. So that's big news. Huge community there. One of the top 15 names in the space easily overall. So we're really excited to be working with them. We can't officially announce any kind of partnership, obviously yet, but they okayed us talking about the integration process as soon as we're audited. And we do an official message test, we're going to start co-marketing. So very excited. That's obviously a huge opportunity for us to be one of the first ones, the first projects to integrate all of the aspects of CCIP because nobody has done that yet. CCIP isn't even fully live yet, but we're really excited about that. That's not a small feat. I'm sure all of you know that, but I want to emphasize that Nabil was a little too technical, but I want to say that Chainlink. So no, it's awesome to be working with them. So we're excited.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Thank you, Josh. Josh, do you have any other updates on the operational side? With our partners that are here that are.
No, so we do have two other partners right now that couldn't make it because of other obligations. So I just want to shout out Carve. We've been working with them. Carve and Meta Arcade. They do. They both have unique platforms and they offer something different as far as game user acquisition. So we're excited to work with them. A lot of our actual partners here have some synergies there. So hopefully we can work together to keep building it. And as Mike says, Web3 is too small to compete. Let's work together and collaborate. So super excited for everybody here. Really, really, really glad to be on this team and working with some legends like Mike over here, Mikey Soft. So it's really cool to meet these people who have been working in this space since I think I was in high school or even before that. So it's really, really cool. Really cool to have that opportunity. So, just want to say that and pass it on to Nabil for our exciting, I'll stop talking, our exciting V2 preview of the game. So,
yeah, if we could demonstrate that, and then I'd like to go through all of our partners that are here and just kind of talk about what we're working with, and then we can go back to Paul and Sophia about what we're going to go for the geography of stuff, as far as what we're going to deal for markets. But I like we'll hit all that, and then we'll go to we'll start with the answering questions. But if we can just do a real quick demonstrate what little intro video would be cool. Where the video time, where we are at, I think it'd be pretty neat to show kind of like an update. So this is the V1, right?
Yeah. So basically, I think it streamed past a little quickly. It first asks you to connect your wallet, and if you don't already have created an account, it asks you to create an account, which is basically your Drift ID. All your gaming statistics, which are kind of like server-based, would be backed up by an ID that you can always regain. But you can connect multiple wallets to the same ID, which means that you can have different accounts within the same Drift ID. So I think it's just on the demo they're creating an ID, and this is the dashboard and the lobby for V2. You can see events that would be created up top. We're still working on the UI to make it a little bit more streamlined and comprehensive, and a little bit more user intuitive. There's the garage where you could actually select the cars. We will be adding more cars, but I think we're trying to take feedback with users based on which cars they would like to be included, or could be added more. Can you guys see the video? Oh yeah. So I think something glitched on my side, but what they're doing is they're actually buying the ticket or buying the entry fee for the event, which basically I think you can see as we're testing on Matic right now, but we're readily deployable on Ethereum afterwards. My side of the video is a little glitchy, but I think they passed the transaction and went into the game.
Correct. Yep, they're in the game now, and they're about to race. So the car is about to race, and it's got I think it's got a ghost behind it. And the ghost went. The car still stayed there. Okay, there we go. The car went now.
All right. So basically, it's a new map that we've been working on with a new environment, a little bit more higher graphics. I think there was a user feedback that they would really love us to pump up the little graphics. So we're hoping that this would add to the experience. But this one is actually on testnet, so it actually means that they've actually paid an entry fee and they're betting a certain amount to win on the leaderboard. So as you can see, they'll just go on and complete the lap. It would be published on their leaderboard in game, and as soon as they update the leaderboard, I think it'll be auto refreshed. You can see ghosts and of all the users that have been playing on the lap. You could actually interact and switch their ghosts on to practice and see how better they are, or how worse you are, or how better you are, or where the gaps are where you could conquer that map. That's an advantage for every user, I guess.
I just want to say that I've seen this video that's not being streamed, and the graphics are way better. So that what you're seeing now is just because of a delay, and because we have it going through like 6 things. It's going through SteamYard, and then it's going to YouTube. So the graphics aren't coming through. So we will post this video afterward on YouTube directly, and then in our socials. So you'll be able to actually watch it kind of more in depth and get a better idea of what the visuals actually look like. So I just wanted to say that real quick. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Good point. I thought my side is glitching. So anyhow, I think the video is paused right now because the timer isn't running out. I'm waiting for the event to finish up, because I think at that point you can actually just
see the claim if they won, right?
Yeah, so they're checking result, and I think this guy actually won the first position, so he's gonna win the bot, the biggest chunk of it. I think they're just pushing the transaction right now. As soon as the transaction goes through, it's just, I think the screenshot was higher balance or something, but we're still working on the UI to make it a little bit more comprehensive, as I mentioned. But it's the bare bone functionality right now that the game is progressing well, and it's testing well on testnet. Everything is interacting well on the browser too. So I think it shows that they already claimed confirmation of transaction. So yeah, the winnings were actually transferred to the winning wallet, the connected account.
Awesome, thanks.
I think that's the demo.
Yeah, that's the demo. Yeah, the video is really long, so you guys can watch it on your own kind of thing. It's really cool though. It came out really nice. So I'd like to circle back, if I can, to CoinStore. We are, in our last part of our pre-sale, which is on our website, right, which is drifttoken.io. We're in the last part of it, and there's going to be a certain date where we stop and we hand over the hand over our direction towards CoinStore, and we point there, and that's where it's going to be have our IEO. Can you give us a little bit of a feedback into or insight into how that process is going to go as far as when it happens on CoinStore? It's going to be available on ETH, or how's it going to be available?
So, so the whole process, obviously, what we'll normally do is we do a lot of outreach, and our partners, we have like a lot of micro influencers, roughly around 30,000 influencers. That's really a part of our team, and we work with them quite closely, and we utilize some of them who are available. So we run through the list, get some marketing going to get that hype going, that the IEO is going to be launched, and so our users are excited and ready and actually know what's going on. And then we would have that IEO running for 3 days, 72 hours. And we typically see, in the Asia market, it's these like projects like Drift are very much liked, in the Southeast Asia market. Gamings and mobile gaming and web gaming is a very hype thing, especially when you look at projects that's come out from there, like Axie Infinity. It's not like Axie Infinity, but gaming in general. It's a lot of gaming studios there, so people, users, and retail investors, they really love these kind of things, and I think it will do very, very well. So the process is, we do a bit of pre-marketing. When the launches happen, we have 3 days of doing that, and there are some marketing going out during the period, and then after that, we start looking in towards the listing stage.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm really excited. Believe me, I'm really excited to get this thing out into the public and out live and through CoinStore.
We're excited. We're excited.
Cool. Yeah, we've been working very closely in the background, and our telegrams go back and forth all the time. So I'm very pumped about that. So you guys have been excellent through this whole process. So I really appreciate it.
No, thank you guys giving us the opportunity.
Absolutely. Dubs has been great because part of my, I'm not a gamer, right? So part of my vision that I like is the fact that, and Dubs will give us this ability, right? That I can have a race, I can be part of a race, but I can also interact with other people in that race separately, right? Have like a side wager with them on my thing, right? So, I always say that I want to beat my Aunt Agnes, right? I want to make my aunt. I don't want to beat 1,000 people I don't know. I want to try to beat my Aunt Agnes at this racing game, so I can take her, so I can take the winnings. Don't tell her. And then that way, that's the whole idea. So I love the idea of working with Dubs in that respect. Do you kind of see I guess obviously you're partnering with, you agree that's a good idea, but do you think it has potential to grow even further than that, or is there other ways that we can work together?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways. I know you guys have built out your custom wagering functionality for these larger groups, but exactly what you're saying, direct challenges between friends. Eventually third-party wagering as well. So if the CEO and the CTO of Drift wanted to play against each other, the community could place wagers on that, and then win that. We can host tournaments on Dubs. There's a whole. We're building out our SDKs and our APIs, which launch at the end of this quarter. So really, it's pretty easy tools. In a matter of a couple of days of dev work, you can integrate these different developer tools and have all sorts of different ways that you guys can challenge each other, or race on a leaderboard where it's a ticket system where even if you get a bad score, you still have a chance. You still get some tickets, and if you do really well, you get a lot of tickets. So even if you suck at gaming, you still have a chance to win. But all sorts of cool ways with our developer tools, and it's cool to see what you guys have built. And I would love to support in any way, and excited we have this this synergy going, and there's a multitude of ways that I know we can integrate with and have a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm definitely one of those that suck at gaming. So okay, good. Yeah, but I still love
I get wrecked all day on Dubs. I'm like the sucker. I'm like the charity play on the Dubs platform.
I'm afraid to let my daughter play because she's 4. She's going to destroy me. And then I have to I have to be upset because my 4-year-old's beating me.
Kids are good now.
Right, exactly.
We got to be 18 plus on ours, but yeah, I think some kids are squeaking through.
Just give her
by
more
the
choice.
chat.
More choice. That's exactly right. Well, that's awesome, right? So cool going live. Again, Drift big time, awesome going live. Dubs is one of those powerhouses. I think it's going to help us be able to provide a unique experience with wagering. It's a GameFi thing. It's a play to earn platform. The whole entire thing is that it's based on GGMF. It's get good, blankety blank. The idea is that you get good at the game and we reward merit. That's what we're trying to look for, right? So, and we're trying to, in that same spirit, we're trying to incorporate or try to bring on the Web 2 community onto Web 3, which is why we looked out for OneKin, and I think OneKin is another great partner that we could potentially have there, and we're trying to work with. So, Jag, we're trying to work together on, again, onboarding the next billion people onto GameFi, right? That's or onto Web 3. We've always heard that same exact thing, so over and over again. So, yeah, some of it's going to be a hurdle, but I think we can get there with you. So, what do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we're really excited about the game. So, and our whole thing really is we want to be, the best growth partner for games in the space. We were studio ourselves, and we're, as you said, focused on not just serving the existing market and kind of what the current metas are when it comes to play to earn those different pieces, but how do we expand this space and really create an ecosystem that's attractive to the average gamer as well, so we can really start to eat into and participate in the $300 billion market that gaming really is. And so all of our products are designed really in how do you simplify how users interact with Web3 inside of games, and are coming out with kind of our first real consumer product in that, which is a decentralized, if you will, Xbox Games Pass. We call it the One Pass. So all games, all chains, One Pass, that will allow users with their credit card to be able to subscribe to a suite of over 100 games that we work with and receive exclusive content like you would from other type of gaming service subscriptions, but specifically targeting actually owned gaming assets and even in-game currency. So we'll be selling this in major distribution hubs. So we've got some really exciting partnerships that we're going to be rolling out, because this what we've tried to really do is wrap Web3 games in a Web2 wrapper that they're familiar with. Allow them to start interacting with this, collect their first NFTs, and do it all in a very abstracted, kind of environment that you don't have to have a PhD and be teaching crypto at colleges to interact with. And so we're really excited about that and bring Drift onto that to get access, more gamers.
Appreciate it. And just as Josh had mentioned, right, we're so early, right? Every one of us that is in Web3 every day, we always think like, why isn't everybody just, utilizing the Bitcoin standard and all this kind of stuff? And I think that we're so, we're so early, we're so immersed in it, but really we are early, and there's no point in really arguing or debating or working against each other, because we're not there yet, right? 30 years from now, when the world is complete, when we have the things on our eyes all the time and everything else, and we're completely digital and we're half robots, then we can start having these competitions and stuff. We're not there yet, right? So, and that's kind of one of the cool things that having Mike on the as an advisor now, because he's been big onto the whole entire metaverse thing for a long time. Second Life was ahead of its time, if you want to think of it that way. It's kind of like MIRC was first, right, and then all that kind of stuff, and then you got. If some of you guys are like MIRC, and you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but that was like the nerdiest nerdy. If you want to, you type in like it's all DOS codes and stuff. But then you get to Second Life, which is cool. Everyone can kind of see their avatar, and now we're in a world where, like you just said, with OneKin Jack, now you have real world assets that you can have and you can move around. Right, it's really cool. So. Mike, we've talked, without spilling the beans here on some of the cool ideas we've talked about. You bring a lot of experience with that kind of a world. Do you see GameFi in all directions, not just with Drift, but do you see GameFi kind of becoming a bigger part of the metaverse, so like some kind of a interaction or a marriage there.
Yeah, it's really growing. I mean, you've got Decentraland, you got Somnium Spaces, a bunch of Web3 metaverse platforms that are popping up and growing with different levels of success. People are learning from one project to another what works and what doesn't, what grows a virtual economy and what stymies it and so forth. So everybody's doing these what are really economic experiments at this point, creating these virtual microeconomies to see what works and what doesn't. And everybody's going to learn over time what's the secret sauce to make a real virtual economy pop. And it's something I've been focusing on a lot is what's the good stuff, what's the bad stuff. We don't want walled gardens. We want to encourage user generated content. That's what builds a virtual economy. And while the creators of the platform can create all the original content and create the infrastructure, it's really when you enable and empower users to create their own content and to buy and sell each other's content through your own virtual economy is where you really start to get synergized things. And that's where the big money is going to be for the people founding these projects. Too many of these games, they try to be walled gardens and they want all the money to flow through them. They want to be the only ones selling the content. And that's where you get this plateauing of revenues over time, because people get bored with the same old content from the same old creators and a limited supply. And when you have a user-generated content economy, you wind up with a really vibrant, constantly changing economy of new content and new ideas popping in.
Yeah, Mike, I just want to jump in to say one, totally, completely agree. And it's one of the kind of founding principles for our company is what's really tricky is that, the existing game space, like you said, is just kind of very much aligned and incentivized to be a walled garden. They don't want to let their assets kind of move outside of all those different pieces. And so, we're kind of on a mission to help break those apart. And that's why what we're doing, when just like the OnePass is a new kind of business model in Web3 that will basically, we are going to do rev share in a very open and clear way with all of our gaming partners. So as we're collecting basically kind of that monthly subscription from these different users, that we can distribute that to gaming partners based off of the content that they do, and maybe even doing some interoperable type activity as well that we really want to go see, because that's to me one of the trickiest parts. So kudos for the research.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the cool thing. So when the idea of Drift first came about, I know that Josh and Nabil were talking about drifting cars. That was the original thing. I, in the background here, have co-opted the idea of Drift as to drift from game to game. Right? So it's not just the drifting thing. And that's exactly right, because Drift, I believe, will always have a place in the world, because people are going to be incentivized for the payout. At some level, there's going to be somebody who's incentivized for the payout. But I'm not a racing guy, right? I'm not really a car guy. I'm an economist, so I'm like a constant bear. So I'm just everything is going to go, hey, save your money, right? That's me. So I'm the wrong guy, right? But as soon as there's dragons and swords, I'm all about it. Right? I don't know why. So if there's a different game, I might be all about that. So I still want to be part of the Drift ecosystem. And again, like with OneKin and with Dubs and with CoinStore, I think there's a way to keep that interoperability going. And to be able to drift through all of our partners in that kind of way. So that's why I kind of stole. That's all me. They don't like that. Josh is like.
You guys are all speaking our language. With the CCIP and what you guys are doing at OneKin, I think it's right in our wheelhouse. We're using CCIP as well. Interoperable USDC you can use on any chain. Cool. And PayPal users being able to deposit using their familiar payment flows. These Web2 users that aren't familiar with Web3, they're wagering on the blockchain, but they don't even know it. And I think that's kind of the key to all of this, and bringing these gamers on and not scaring them away. And eventually they'll come to Web3 because of the benefits of it and the lack of hassle naturally. And I think with what we're doing and with what these partners are doing, and it's cool to hear from all of you guys, I think that's the goal, and it's nice to see all this energy headed in that direction.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, and it's cool to see all hear all the different perspectives. I think we are the right partners. Something that everybody may not know, we'll be speaking at Harvard Business School in April 13th. We invited Dubs; they weren't able to attend, but one kid will be there, so we'll be in person. Actually, Mike will be he'll be running 2 of the panels, so it's a super awesome opportunity. And then we'll be interacting again with more partners in the space. But we're always, again, our mantra: we're connecting as many people as we can to move forward together. So it's awesome to hear you're already working with CCIP. We're excited. We're close to being to the co-marketing stage with them. So that's awesome. Obviously, it's a huge platform, and I don't even think a lot of people know about CCIP. I mean, intentionally probably at this point, but I don't think a lot of people know about what's coming with that. So that's an awesome thing to come, see come into play and that go to fruition. Us to be one of the first, adopters. So I think that's awesome. I think one thing I want to touch on that I think is really neat with what we did here is the studio token model. And how we set this all up, it enables, as Mike's talking about, we continue to grow, and we set up the game again. So you're on, seamlessly on cross chain, and then you don't have sell pressure from a token, in-game reward token. So we set that up, intentionally before we even knew how far we might go with Drift Labs, Drift Studios. So that's like the big thing up front. That's really exciting for me because we have many Payout Pursuit will definitely. Killing the V2 is, it's like killing the hamburger. We have to be the first best hamburger out there. But then we're going to go on and we're going to have chicken sandwiches and everything else. So that's where we're going to get. But we're super excited to have these partners. And I think that's how we grow exponentially in the beginning. So I just want to throw that in there. A lot of great comments. So thanks.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Josh. No, perfect. I'd like to throw it over to Paul, who's our marketing guy, and Soph, who is our UX drivers there. Everything looks the cool thing you see behind us looks pretty, and the website and everything else that's popping up is all of their fault. So in a good way. Please just give us an update on kind of where we're looking for and how the things are progressing marketing wise.
Yeah, sure. Josh just threw me there. It took me back to a song by an Australian band called the Whitlams. They had the lyrics, "I make hamburgers, I get all the girls." But look, what we're doing is focusing first of all on the Asia Pacific region, and I kind of divide that region into 4 sections. So Peninsula Asia, Indochina Asia, Indochina, ex-China, Northeast, and China. So honing in on those different 4 segments, and they span, we're talking like 15, 16 countries. We're working on creatives for those. We're working on building up partnerships inside of a number of those countries. I just came back from Cambodia. I met with a few guilds. I met with a entertainment distributor who do TV, music, and gaming. Building up those relationships. I have good relationships with some KOL network in China, which is a tough market because of the restrictions and stuff. But there's ways around it, and as long as you're careful, you can market. And that's because of the Web3 thing. So primarily focused on that in terms of Payout Pursuit and in terms of our largest suite of games. Really enthused that we'll be listing first and doing our IO on CoinStore because of CoinStore's relevance, high degree of relevance within the same region, and then of course we shift across to South Asia and the other markets that we know, Turkey and Brazil and stuff. So I'm really excited working with creatives with Sophie. In preparation for the launch of the Web3 enabled Payout Pursuit. Can't wait.
Awesome, Josh. Soph, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yep, I've just been working on designing the marketing materials for Paul's campaigns, creating branding, merchandise, and optimizing the websites and graphics for Drift, Payout Pursuit, and all of its associated brands. So we've got lots of neat stuff coming up.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Paul, is there any questions that have come through the interwebs? You're on mute, Paul. So
I've muted myself. The first question that came through at 5:01 Well, that's my time. Yeah, I'm in the morning. I'm in Korea here, so it's 5. But basically, 1 minute into the thing, from Jury and maybe Dubs, whoever wants to address this, Jury Mako wants to know, how will Dubs and Drift profit from each other?
Yeah, I can touch on this, and we kind of already did. But yeah, I mean, whether it's, leveraging our existing Dubs community, bringing fiat users to Drift, bringing additional functionality in the form of tournaments, third-party wagering, leaderboards with different style leaderboards. I think there's, and I don't want to just repeat myself on all the stuff earlier, but what we're all about as Dubs is integrating with more games and cool games and skill-based games, and we have dozens and dozens of games in the pipeline over the next few months. But we're really excited about this one and how skill-based this is, and how fun we think this is going to be, and fits right into our wheelhouse, and that's why you guys are building out this custom wagering solution yourself. But we'd love to just add on to that, leverage each other's communities. That's what we're all about at Dubs, and yeah, hopefully that answers the question, Jerry.
1,000%. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's the thing. Let's see. Oh, okay. I can see the comments here myself. I see. I got it.
Yeah,
got it.
There was another one that came through, and this is anonymously, so we can't see it up here. But why do we choose CoinStore as our IO partner?
Yeah, I think we hit on that already, but just the market location for us, obviously, and they're growing rapidly, and they're, you could probably say it yourself better than me, but the focus is not on volume of getting IEOs on, it's on quality and growing the usership of CoinStore. That's the things that drew me into committing to going with CoinStore for the IEO. But I don't know if you want to add on to that as well. I think I covered why we chose strategically, but you can go ahead if you want anything.
Tahir, I think he's.
Oh, me? Oh, okay. Cheers, Josh. A lot of people come to CoinStore mainly to attack the market. That's one of the main focus. One of the other reasons a lot of people come to CoinStore is about the relationship. Now, I've been in crypto for a number of years, coming up to 9-10 years, and over the years you build a lot of relationships and a lot of network, and there are many characters out in the market, so it's very challenging for project owners or developers or anyone who's interested into blockchain or cryptocurrency to connect with the right people. And this is one of the key things that we focus on. We're very traditional in the sense of business, so we try our best to have build rapport and relationship, provide advice as best as we can. And I think that's why a lot of projects like to speak to us. Not always, come onto the exchange, but maybe in the future stage, but always tend to, have a conversation, try to understand what's going on in the market in Southeast Asia. And I'm hoping this is why Drift have chosen us, not just because of the market, but we provide hopefully some valuable advice with the guys and, try and guide them that we understand in the centralized exchange world.
We will listen to you. I'm just saying. We want to succeed, right? We want to see this thing happen, not just for us. Remember, there are no team tokens. Yeah. We had to buy our own tokens, so we're in this.
I think that, and from my perspective, token marketing is an important thing, but obviously I'm focused more on what the game and that we release and getting out. So CoinStore was a natural fit, I thought, for us, and I'm like really excited that we're hitting the same. We're looking at the same demographics and looking at the same interested users, right? So yeah, that from my perspective, that it's a great fit for us.
Yeah, I think one thing that you mentioned, Paul, earlier actually was, you went over to Cambodia and met up with some guilds and things like that. A lot of this right now, we are in a sort of a baby economy of cryptocurrency. It's still a very early stage. It takes time for the world to kind of adopt massively. And so what we tend to have is influences and things like that kind of affect our buyers and sellers, etc. So we don't have like the Wall Street Journal to kind of look into and have accredited investors to kind of guide us where to go to. So a lot of the things that we do in this stage in terms of going to like countries like in Southeast Asia, meeting with guilds and meeting with exchanges within the local areas, because a lot of exchanges like in Thailand, for example, BitCub holds a 90% market share. A lot of people in the West will never know that. So these kind of things are very important that you go over there and you actually sit down and talk to these people and understand how to market, how to strategize in those regions. So it's a good thing that you're doing that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, good points. Great points.
No, and I do want to touch on, because we didn't hit it already, like where we are with the raise. I want to hit. It gives a little background for the new communities, because I know we have a lot from Dubs who probably haven't heard of us before or heard about us or where we are. So we started off very grassroots, like totally word of mouth. We didn't spend any marketing, and we kind of surprised ourselves. We put a lot of work. There's like 9 months behind the scenes, so it wasn't just like luck. But we raised our first 250K in I think under 2 hours in our first round of the pre-sale. Just again, word of mouth, spent no money. Then we went into stage lap 2, lap 1, because the first lap was the warm up. Then we confused ourselves by naming it like this. Then we went to lap 1, and it was just 500K, and we did that in I think less than a week. I think it was like 5 or 6 days. Now we're into lap 2, 750K, a bit bigger raise. But we stayed with the grassroots model, and we partnered up, again with CoinStore. So we always had the intent to shift to an IEO, and move from the grassroots to, because you need to gain. We have about 1,100 holders, I think. So you need to, there is work to go from that to, what's next, and to bring in, and we've seen a lot of ebbs and flows in the market, because we started this in, December 27th. So you guys know what's happened since then as far as the market goes. So we've had a lot happening in between, but we're, that's where we got to today. So everyone understands a little bit about where we are. The sale is still open on our website, drifttoken.io. So you can go over there if you want to get it now. You can always go through CoinStore, or you can wait to speculate when we launch. But I do want to hit that this is not a marketing for the token sale, but I wanted to catch everybody up, like especially our new partners, where we're at. CC Pro, I think they had to drop potentially, but they were a huge partner in our early grassroots effort. To really just get the word out there and we went on a lot of AMAs in the beginning. I think the market overall is shifting a little bit away from that. So, we definitely got a lot of growth there, but we kind of hit the limit. So that's why we're moving strategically to CoinStore. We're still open. We have great partners via our ambassador program that have gotten us this far. I do want to shout out to Sami. He couldn't make it, but he's one of the best micro influencers we've run across. He's great. He's honest, and he really has gone to show that he thinks we're a great product. So those kind of relationships we have, we're going to get more through CoinStore, I feel, with some of their influencing network, and obviously potentially through our partners here. There may be new ones we unlock. So I just want to catch everybody up where we are for those new listeners. So come on over if you haven't participated, or if you want to wait on the sideline, until Dubs is integrated or whatever it is. We just appreciate the opportunity to come learn about us and get your initial exposure. So I just want to put that out there. Because it hadn't been in there, so it's like I didn't want to leave it without being said and giving some background on where the team came from and what we've done, to date, and about coming up on 2 months. So
awesome, thanks, Josh. No, that's perfect. I saw a couple things. Someone said that they want a Dodge Mega Cab, 6.7 liter, 38-inch tires, 22-inch rims, look-alike, black over gray paint job. Maybe that could be possible. I'd like to. So
I would like to add actually something that we already have a plan that the winners are already going to get some sort of NFT cars. So, and when the Drift King, who's basically the leader of an event, gets a unique car, could be of their choice, could be one of the ones that we design, or could be a different option. So we're still working out those things. But there are plans of actually making cars as an ownable asset, which we actually win by being a top 30% of the leaderboard or something.
Absolutely. Nabil, so I just want to hit a couple things. There's one more question here. Where can you buy the pre-sale? Yes, you can still buy the pre-sale right now. As Josh had mentioned, it's on drifttoken.io. I think it's in one of the comments here that exists here. I think that was on Facebook. Someone questioned it, or is on or is that on YouTube? No, that was on YouTube. Someone asked, "Can I buy?"
Both actually, both. Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, please, it's still open, it's available, and then but I don't know for how long because Coin Store is right around the corner, like literally right around the corner. So,
Yeah.
that's all. Just all I'm saying is a pre-sale now, and then there's not going to be a pre-sale for later. You know what I mean? Okay. So, anybody who's listening,
One thing, another thing on the development roadmap, because we didn't talk about it, where we want to go. You can look in our white paper. It's also available via our website. But with V3, we plan to integrate and move towards a marketplace. So that obviously bodes well with our relationship with OneKin and our other marketing partners, like getting to get those digital assets up, and those that's on the roadmap. But the biggest thing is the best hamburger. So that's why V2, we got to really bang it out, and like user acquisition super important. So we're laser focused on that. We've already had, I think, over 3,000 people play the game at least once, and I don't know. Now the rest I'm going to pull out of my hat. No, I'm just kidding. But I think over 1,000 came back and played different stages. So I mean, those are pretty good numbers for really only working with our partners to get people to come participate in the game. So that's also super exciting. But then think about the possibilities when a lot of people are in the space right now are spending a lot of money for a lot worse returns. You spend $30, you get the chance at 30K potentially. I mean, come on, that's a no-brainer to spend a couple of hours trying to beat someone's time. And then the future potential there. So that's why I think, another reason, and something I'm going to be, I think we have a really strong use case that is going to show out very soon once we get V2 out. So I want to add that. I'm sorry, CEO, I got to beat that this product is great. So, but, appreciate that.
Absolutely. I would like to touch base, and if Nabil is still there, working with Chainlink over the last couple of half a month, a week has been really exciting for me. I know it's been exciting for Nabil. He was like, there was one meeting where he's like, Mike, I need you to just, take the lead on this. And it was with Chainlink. And then I said, hi guys. And then Nabil just, ran with the whole entire meeting for an hour. He just, I was like, I thought you said you needed me. And he's like, nah, I was too excited. He is, because this is a big deal. This ability to go from Drift on 3 different chains now, kind of in the background, is new. It's exciting, and as Dub said that they're also working on the CCIP as well, and I know that OneKin's also working on that interoperability. So we're all working in that way. So I love that whole entire thing. But it's been really exciting working with Chainlink, and hopefully we get all the auditing and everything else, and the testing and everything else goes smoothly, and we can finally, eventually, maybe potentially call them a partner. We are very cautioned not to do that, because we want to make sure that everything is functional before we say that. But we're working towards it right now very hard. So we got the hammer, and we're gonna make it fit. Okay, I'm just kidding. It's gonna only fit if it only works, right? So we're doing the audits too. So thank you guys very much for showing up. We would like to offer that prize out there for our listener. Paul, do we know what the prize is?
We thought it was $100.
Oh, $100.
USDT, right?
USDT, $100 for the prize. And I've been looking over here in our little conversation on the side inside the team, kind of decided we think that the best person is Jury. She came up with the best question. So Jury, you did it. You meritocracy as kind of like is the Drift Labs way. So you came up with the best question. You get the prize there. So Paul will figure out how to reach out to you, or how to the whole thing's going to work, because I can't. I got to focus on other things. I can't focus. So Paul, that's all you. And
Thanks.
I'd like to thank all of our partners that joined us today. Right. So I really like to thank Coin Store big time. I really like to thank Dubs, OneKin. I'd like to thank CC Pro for stopping by before. We also have, as Josh had mentioned, a whole series of other partners that we're working with. Josh, some of those partners that couldn't make it.
Yep. Like we have Carve.io. They've been great for running some growth campaigns for us. They do some great acquisition and data on-chain data collection. So they're an awesome service. They're I think they're going in their seed A, but they've been around a bit and they've been successful. So we have them that we've been working with. And additionally, we have MetaArcade. So they're actually predecessors to us in being in the space, and they raised in the bull market, they raised 20 million, and they're going to another stage with their platform where they're going to offer some similar user acquisition, and we're going to be kind of early on that with them. But I also want to say to our partners, hey, we'd love to come on individually to come speak to your communities. I think that's awesome. Kyle, if we could set that up with Dubs, that's really cool. I think because then we can get a little more of the weeds of how Dubs integrates with us, and then we can take some feedback from your community. Same with OneKin, like we're super interested in that. Let's get with your community. Let's do some really dive down into what the relationship looks like, and all of our partners, obviously. CoinStore, we're naturally have that built in because we have CS Live coming up. We'll be going through, so we'll interact with that community a lot already just by nature of the IEO. So looking to do that, and again, if you guys are partners and anybody listening, if you guys have natural partners in mind, I'll set up the collab, because guess what, that's how we all grow. So reach out to one of the team members on Telegram or through your community, and let's see if you heard all this today and you're like, there's a great partner for them that they probably don't know about yet. Make the connection. We're again excited to grow and be on this with maybe 20 partners eventually. So, and we'd love to come over there and for your events. Let us know when they're happening, and we'll support it with our community as well. So I want to throw that in appreciation for you guys coming out in your communities for listening.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it would behove us entirely to thank the community for supporting us through this journey. It's we started on December 21 with the first round of our raise, and we're still going. I'd like to also big thanks to all the people who turned up to this live town hall. It was our first. It's our Virgin Town Hall. We've gone for an hour now, so we're getting at the very end. But I'm reaching out to thank everyone who popped in for a listen, and everyone who's going to watch after the fact on live.
And Mr. Laurie for stopping in. I'd like to not forgetting Mr.
Yep.
He was here before us. He's apparently I almost left him out after us. But he was so I appreciate him being an advisor on the team. It's going to be, we have a lot of great ideas coming up in the future, and Mike is going to be instrumental in helping some of those things come up. So, thanks, Mike.
No problem. Thanks for having me in this project.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for having us.
All right,
Talk
take
soon.
care.
Yeah.
Everybody
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll call it a night tonight. It's 6 a.m. for me, but it's not so awful for most of you all.
Are we still alive?
Yeah. But,
Keep calm and drift on.
Thanks for hopping in, and I'll check us out on drifttoken.io. We're still running the pre-sale just ahead of the IEO and CoinStore, so get in if you want to get in now at these prices. Otherwise, we'll see you at CoinStore, and we'll see you around. Thanks for joining.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.